Hello friends, Miss Kenyon here. Today I am going to read you all a book called Rain, Rain, Come Again. For days and days, Pooh and some of his friends had been planning an explore. First, they had decided to explore the North Pole. But since Pooh had already discovered that, they decided to go as far as they could and find a place that no one, including them, had ever seen, which they would name Pooh Piglet Roo Land. During one planning meeting, Eeyore wandered by and looked so gloomy that Pooh said, "Eeyore, why don't you come with us? Instead of discovering Pooh Piglet Roo Land, we'll look for Pooh Piglet Roo Eeyore Land." Eeyore thought for a moment. "I don't have a nice ring to it," he said finally. "I accept." When the day arrived, Pooh, Piglet, and Roo went to Eeyore's house, carrying a map and compass and treasure buckets, but Eeyore wouldn't come outside. "The sky looks kinda gray," he said. "We certainly can't go on an explore if it's going to rain." "Rain?" repeated Roo, looking worried. "Oh dear." "It may rain, it may not," Pooh answered cheerfully. "You never can tell with weather." "Pooh," Roo began, if we get caught in the rain, won't the water fall on my head?" "Yes, I suppose it would," Pooh answered. "But I don't like water on my head or in my eyes," Roo explained. "Not even when Mama gives me a bath." "Well, if it doesn't rain, we can just turn our buckets upside down and wear them as hats," Pooh suggested. "Or we could put the map over us, like this," Piglet said. He gave one edge to Roo to hold, and together they stood underneath. "Well, all right then," Roo agreed. And so the explorers set out to find Pooh Piglet Roo Eeyore Land, come rain or shine. As they reached the middle of the large open field, the rain did come. "I told you so," cried Eeyore as the friends ran from shelter beneath the tree. "My bucket!" called Roo as his homemade rain hat went flying into the air with every bounce. "I wish I had my umbrella," Piglet confessed. Pooh, meanwhile, was trying to unfold the map. As they huddled beneath the branches, catching their breath, Pooh held out a soggy paper. "Oh, bother," he said. "The rain made the ink run on the map, and now we can't read it." "At least we still have a compass," said Piglet. "No, we don't," confessed Roo. "I dropped it when I was hurrying. I knew this explore was a bad idea." Eeyore gloomed miserably. Roo looked out at the fallen rain. "I'll go search for the compass," he announced bravely. So he closed his eyes and ventured out under the tree. But luckily, just at that moment, the rain stopped. The little kangaroo took one hop across the field, found that he could hop no farther. "Oh no, I'm stuck," he explained. The rain left the ground all muddy. But when Roo finally pulled his feet out of the muck, a big smile across his face. Gee, listen to the wonderful noise the mud makes, he giggled as he squish, squish, squish with his feet. Come on, Pooh, said the others. Let's all try it. Pooh hurried over, but stopped when he heard something crumble beneath his foot. Oops, he said. I think I found the compass. If you're hungry, Pooh, I can fix you something to eat, said Roo. He scooped up some wonderful gooey mud and put it in his bucket. Then he took out a handful and began patting it into shape. I'll make you some mud pies, he announced. Then he picked up some little rocks and said, with raisins in them too. Roo bent down to pick up another rock. Yikes, he said. There are baby snakes under here. Those aren't snakes, said Pooh, who was quite relieved. Those are earthworms. They come out after the rain. Oh, said Roo, they're slimy. I've been thinking, Pooh said, looking around, since we've never been here before, perhaps this is Pooh, Piglet, Roo, and Eeyore land. Eeyore glanced around the muddy field. Somehow he said, I thought it would be grander. I don't think there would be worms, said Piglet. I didn't imagine it would be wet, added Roo. We'll keep looking then, said Pooh, who wasn't and fell into a giant big puddle. Here, let me help, offered Piglet, who instantly fell in. Soon, Eeyore and Piglet both slipped into. Since they were already wet, the friends decided to enjoy a game of puddle jumping. Whee! Cried Roo, who was having so much fun he didn't seem to notice the water splashing on his head. When they had finished, Piglet looked up and said, Look over there. I see a cloud that looks like a hat. And I see a bee, added Eeyore. Where? Pooh explained. I don't hear any bees. No, not a real bee, sniffed Eeyore. A cloud bee. Oh, bother, said Pooh, pointing my tummy. Rumble, you should have tried some of my mud pies, said Roo. As they continued their search for Pooh, Piglet, Roo, and Eeyore land, the explorers found some blueberry bushes. Still glimmering from the rain, Pooh popped the berry into his mouth. Mmm, he said. A bear's got to keep his strength up if he's to go exploring. Delicious, said Roo, smacking his lips. Eeyore agreed, and the rain made the berries taste extra juicy, so they filled their buckets to the brim. A little while later, as Pooh's tummy led them closer to home, the friends came across some footprints in the mud. You don't suppose those belong to a Huffalump, wondered Piglet. I don't know. If they come out after a rain, Pooh answered. They should, explained Roo. The rain is fun if you like that sort of thing, said Eeyore, who certainly did. Quick, quick! The explorers followed the tracks, keeping an eye out for Huffalumps, Woozles, and other wild animals just in case. When the tracks ended, they were standing at Pooh's front door. Do we have to go in? Piglet asked. If there's a Huffalump inside, whispered Pooh. I got to stop him before he eats all my honey. When his friends gathered cautiously behind him, Pooh pushed open the door. Hello, said Kanga. When they were inside, I was sure your explorer got ruined by the rain, so I made you all some tea and cookies to make you feel better. But our explorer didn't get ruined, said Roo. Breathlessly, we made mud pies and went puddle jumping and picked berries and everything. The happy travelers joined Kanga for tea, all the while planning their next explore, during which they might find the real Pooh, Piglet, Roo, and Eeyore land. Maybe, suggested Eeyore, we could do it in a rainy day again. And everyone agreed that was a splendid idea. Then Roo stretched and said, Mama, may I have a nice bath before going to bed? Kanga just smiled and kissed the top of his head. The ends. Thank you, friends, for letting me read to you. I'll see you guys next time.